Sonic races itself to success again, I think. It's Tech, and this is GVN. Let's rock. Hi, welcome to the channel. This is GVN. And why did that? Where we review movies, series, comics, animations, and video games. So it's Sonic, the second part this time around. Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic is, without too much backstory, Sonic is a character whom, if you gamed in the late 90s to early 2000s on Sega, you'll definitely know who the character is. He runs like crazy. And this is the second part. So the second part is introducing more characters to us. The first part has done the background story and everything, which personally I liked. I think it got mixed reviews online from people, but in my opinion, I liked the movie. It was fun. So I knew I was going to watch the second one. Now, I knew I wasn't going to go to the cinema to watch it, but of course, when it gets released on digital, I would. And I watched it and I liked it. It was a very fun movie. And speaking of characters, new characters that were introduced, we got to see Knuckles, who is also a character from the game, and we got to see him in the movie. And same with Tails. I remember growing up playing Sonic with my older brother. I think it was more Sonic, I was more Tails. I really liked Tails and his mechanic of the two tails and it's kind of flying in the air situation. So I liked it. That was a lot of fun. So, for these characters, the same way it is for anything comic book and video game related, I kind of like seeing them in real life. And if there is a decent story around it, I am on board to watch it and have a lot of fun. And that was what this one too was for me, at least from everything that went on. Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik still did such an amazing job. I really liked him. Idris Elba boy Knuckles, and the funny thing is, it does not sound like Idris Elba. I that's another funny thing about Idris Elba. He's British, but then he can go with his American accent and still kill it. So he killed it with the voice as Knuckles, and I think he did a really good job. The premise of the whole thing starts with Sonic now having an established life with his new family, but of course Sonic is still a kid, so in this case he's still being watched over by them. And now Sonic also wants to be a hero, but since he's still a kid and he's untrained and he does not know how to go about this thing, it seems it causes more harm than good, as seen in the very first scene when he was trying to thwart the robbery. Because the truth is, there were if he had the proper training and he used the speed well, there were some unnecessary mistakes that he wouldn't have made, with the whole bombing and everywhere just going up in the air with the manhole cover and everything. So it was a lot of mess. It cost the city more, even though the crooks were apprehended, but it costed them more than if they had just escaped, because a lot of damage was done. And then we get to see him getting the advice from Tom on, with great power comes great responsibility kind of thing, on how to be a hero. And him and Maddie, they go for the wedding and he gives them the rings. And hey, I was thinking about it before. I was like, but I guess, not to think too critically of it, because first and foremost, this isn't that kind of movie where you think too deep about it. And I'm glad they remember that. They remember that this movie should just be fun. It should not be too deep, because when you think about it, even though they have the rings to travel, they are in another country without going through an airport, without going through customs. They are illegals in the new country, in that country where they went for the business. Because that was what I was really thinking about. I was like, aren't they breaking some laws? That was what I was thinking about. But then, of course, this is the movie that you should think too deeply about. Because truth be told, if anybody is reviewing this movie or giving it some sort of negative comments and they are bringing up points like this, to me, I just look at the person and I'm like, you need some extra joy in your life. You need this movie to just laugh, because that's what this movie is about. Some action, some comedy, and that's what he delivered. Them at the wedding, and then Maddie's sister finding out that our perfect fiance turning about to be husband, because they did not exchange their vows, was now working for the secret organization called Gun. So all of that happening. The action was very questionable, that's the truth. How they are getting past the secret agents that are really trained, and they had, I don't think they had tasers, I think they had more lethal weapons. I think some of them also had tasers, but then, when you remember the fact that these guys are really trained, and some of the devices that were created by Tails were actually like bombs that could melt surfaces, these things could have actually gone through a body, and we could have seen a plot of The Boys right now, of stuff going through a person and the person exploding on them. You seeing guts all over. But of course, this was a kids movie and they avoided all of that, and we get to see the showdown. I think many things I liked included the fight between the initial encounter between Knuckles and Sonic. Knuckles being able to stop Sonic in his tracks. Of course, Sonic holds back a lot because Sonic does not really want to harm people. But then the initial parts of that fight was really, really nice. And then Tails coming to the rescue, and then all of that stuff that happened when they were in Siberia, all that weird stuff with the dancing and everything. Like, this movie was just so much fun. It was like a movie where you just, if you're part of the crew, just now we are just vibing with this. We are not taking ourselves too seriously, and that was what this movie felt like to me. I liked it. It's from everything that went through, then you now find out. And I think one thing I really liked was the fact that Knuckles could not really understand sarcasm or a lot of these social cues. So he took a lot of things literally. The chopping knuckle, the handshakes, all of those things. He took them literally. And Knuckles being the character with the big knuckles, you don't want to shake his hand. You don't want to chop knuckle with him. But he took a lot of this here very, 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 very literally. I remember when there was that scene where, okay, now find out that Robotnik he got the emeralds, right? And then he betrayed Knuckles. And then Knuckles finds a way to help Sonic escape after Sonic also tried to help him escape. And then they're on the beach, they are licking their wounds, and when they are talking, and Sonic tried to motivate him and cheer him up. Next thing Knuckles says was, I don't know how you have the spirit to move on despite failing over and over and over and over and kept saying and over and over. The truth is, in his own case, he's someone who is funny even without knowing it. Whether he's deliberate about it or not is irrelevant. He just says it as it is, right? And I like that. I like the dynamic between them because in the case of Sonic is more like a jovial, fun person. While Knuckles can be jovial and fun, he's unintentionally, and he's more like the muscle of the group. And then there is Tails. Tails is the brain, is the gadgets, and that trio just seemed to gel so well when they were fighting Robotnik in the end. And Tails also, I said Tails, Sonic also getting his ultimate mode after getting all the emeralds, and then just laying it on Robotnik, like beating the crap out of him, and then giving up those powers. It was so much fun to watch because that's the version of Sonic from the games too that is like ultimate Sonic. He's the Sonic that you don't even mess with. He's the Sonic that you want to have. So it was really fun to watch. I had a lot of fun watching it. Would I watch it again? Of course, because it was just that much fun. It's not something I'll go out of my way to stay on to watch. But if it's playing, I'm walking by, I'll happily go and then watch it. So it was something I really liked. Would I recommend it? Of course. It gets a rating of 7/10. It was a fun watch. If you've seen it, feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you haven't, watch it. Check it out. I think it's fun. You won't feel like you wasted your time. Don't forget that we started uploading gaming videos, so if you like watching gameplays, feel free to check that out. I'm going to link that up here. Feel free to check out some of our other dope reviews on the channel too. If you like this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. It truly helps the channel out. Watch this one and this one next, whichever one you prefer, if you like to watch more of our content. And it's been me, Tech, for GVN. Live long and prosper.